This is the story of a woman and a man stranded on a deserted island. The woman panics when an unknown creature slips into her pants, but with the man's help, she successfully removes it. Throughout their time on the island, they face numerous dangerous and unexpected challenges, relying on each other for survival. Just when they have a chance to escape, they encounter a group of pirates. Amid these challenges, they attempt to save themselves using an old airplane. Let's start story. A woman suddenly screamed and quickly dropped the bucket she was holding. She had felt something slip into her pants, and as she looked down at her lower body, she realized she was in big trouble. If not handled properly, it could be life-threatening. Her panicked expression immediately caught the attention of a nearby man. When he understood the situation, he knew it was serious. Just as the woman was about to grab whatever was in her pants, the man stopped her, warning that it could be dangerous, especially if it was poisonous. His words made the woman even more anxious. The man tried to calm her down, but no good solution came to mind. Eventually, he decided to take action. At first, the man had a mischievous smile, but that quickly changed as he reached deeper and pulled out a half-meter-long water snake from her pants. Relieved that the crisis was over, the woman let out a sigh. She realized that surviving on a deserted island, with so many unexpected dangers, wasn't something she could manage alone. Even basic tasks like finding food had become major challenges. Meanwhile, the man camouflaged himself with leaves, resembling a giant dumpling. When the woman saw him approaching a peacock with a spear, she understood what was about to happen. She considered stopping him out of kindness, but instinctively kept quiet. Later that evening, as they enjoyed their meal, the woman's last bit of hesitation vanished. With the man's help, she no longer felt trapped on a deserted island, but instead like she was on vacation. However, the peace didn't last long. The next morning, the woman woke up to see a commercial airplane flying overhead. Excited at the prospect of being rescued, she rushed to the man, but waking him from his drunken stupor was nearly impossible. Desperate, the woman made a bold decision. She lifted his shirt and pulled out the red flare gun tucked in his waistband. Just as she was about to fire it into the sky, the man rolled over, knocking her to the ground. The flare went off, hitting a nearby tree instead. The woman stared in shock, realizing they had lost their only chance for rescue. The man, now awake, understood what had happened when he saw the empty flare gun. When he was about to scold her, the woman angrily questioned why he had pretended to be passed out. She then turned her gaze back to the sky, but her companion looked at the plane in disbelief. He pointed out that it was a commercial jet, flying thousands of meters above them at 600 miles per hour. Even a nuclear explosion might not catch its attention, let alone a small flare. The situation couldn't be undone, and now they needed to find a highly visible spot in case another rescue plane passed by. After much effort, they reached the top of a mountain, only to be shocked by what they saw. The woman quickly pulled out binoculars and finally saw a glimmer of hope for rescue. Her companion grabbed the binoculars and saw a cruise ship slowly approaching the shore. However, without the flare gun, they had no way to attract attention. Their only option was to go down the mountain and signal for help, but this wasted valuable time. They had no choice but to chase the departing yacht in a kayak. Just as they were reveling in their impending escape, they noticed a group of ruthless pirates closing in. The man, terrified by the sight, yelled at them to hurry as they sped toward the boat. Despite his best efforts, the kayak was no match for the pirates' motorboats. The pirates began shooting at them, and realizing they were outnumbered, the two abandoned their kayak and swam towards the shore. Once on land, they used their knowledge of the terrain to finally evade the pirates, but got lost in the jungle. Luckily, they stumbled upon a crashed World War II fighter plane. Seeing it, the man immediately came up with a plan. Not only to escape the pirates, but to leave the island altogether. They dismantled the plane's pontoons and, despite the risk of being discovered by the pirates, transported them to the shore. Now they just needed to attach these to the plane, missing its landing gear, and they could finally escape. The man hauled a large wooden log, tied together two similar-sized tree trunks with rope, and secured them to the plane's wings. The previously tilted plane began to level out. Excited, the woman helped stabilize it, and once everything was secure, they moved on to the next step. After collecting a large number of bamboo tubes, the man dug a 5-meter-long trench on either side of the plane's wheel hubs. Together they pushed a metal pontoon into the pre-dug trench. then quickly released the ropes holding the plane. The landing gear landed perfectly on the pontoons. Next, the man drilled holes on either side of the cabin door, threading the bamboo tubes through. The once crashed plane had been restored to its former glory and even upgraded to skim across the water. However, just as they were about to remove the last obstacle holding the plane down, a loud noise suddenly erupted from the sky. Before they could react, a shell exploded behind the plane. The man, panicked, saw that the pirates were closing in. In a critical moment, they hurriedly released the logs holding the plane. But as they did, another shell, now accurately aimed, exploded. The man was thrown aside by the blast, and his companion rushed to check on him, only to find a deep, bloody wound on his chest. Realizing the danger, the woman used all her strength to lift him. The pirates were closing in fast, and within minutes, they would reach the shore. The man, still conscious, understood the situation, and despite the pain, dragged himself into the pilot's seat. Once everything was ready, he resolutely started the engine. He didn't know if the plane would work, but just as the pirates closed in, the plane managed to take off. The pirates' shells were landing all over the beach, but the man's skillful piloting finally lifted the plane off the water. However, the pirate leader, determined to leave a lasting impression, aimed his cannon directly at the ascending plane. In the end, the man skillfully maneuvered the plane, escaping the island that had trapped them for 6 days and 7 nights.